am a college student, and in high school, I dated John. I tried to break up with him over Christmas break this year, but he said he wouldn't let me, that we had a future together, and that I'd recognize my mistake in a few weeks. I told him that I'd realized I'm a lesbian and was sure. He just wouldn't accept it and said that we would talk again in a few weeks. Afterward, every few days, I got texts from John telling me he loved me forever. I texted back the first few times saying we were broken up, but he just didn't want to hear it. Then one day I was studying in my college dorm and I heard a knock on my door. It was my RA, and she said that my boyfriend was in the lobby. It didn't even occur to me that it was John. My college is several states away, and he has no car. So I said that she must have the wrong person. She said, actually, he said your full name, and he's being kind of belligerent with the guard, saying he traveled from my home state to see you. I was like, holy smokes. No, you can't let him in. I broke up with him and he won't leave me alone. I had no idea he was even coming here, let alone showing up unannounced. I need to study for an exam tonight. I was honestly panicking and she could tell. She said she would handle everything. I should just stay in the dorm and study. I'd be safe there, and she'd make sure of it. I thanked her profusely. I tried to put it out of my mind and study. My phone had already been on Don't Disturb, and I kept it that way. And I just studied all night. I was wondering what the heck had happened, but I also know how important the exam was going to be and that I needed to focus. I didn't check my phone until I'd finished my exam the next afternoon. I knew whatever I saw might upset me, and when I finally took it off Don't Disturb, I had a lot of messages from John. He first said that he'd come to visit me and show he wanted to work our relationship troubles out. Then he said the guard wouldn't let him in, and could I answer my phone? Then angry texts were saying, did you call security on me? And then a bunch of texts saying he was here with no car and no money and nowhere to stay. And he was staying up all night in a gas station because he had nowhere to go and he thought the employees would kick him out soon. Then a furious text saying his mom had to give him money to get a sooner flight home, and now she might not be able to make rent. He was furious. We spent 4 years together, and I'd leave him out to dry when he came to try and work things out. I feel conflicted. I didn't want to be with him, but maybe I could have helped him at least find a place to sleep until his return flight. Like, ask my guy friends if he could sleep in the guys' dorm. I have 2 friends whose roommates dropped out, leaving spare beds. Am I the idiot for not talking to my boyfriend when he showed up uninvited after I tried to dump him? Not the idiot. This guy sounds like a psycho. Who the heck doesn't allow someone to break up with them? Your ex has become a stalker, and you made it clear to him that you'll never be with him no matter what. Block him and don't engage any of his comments. He is not stable, and you want nothing to do with him. I tried to break up with him, but he said he wouldn't let me. My God, this is not how any of this works. It takes 2 people in agreement to be in a relationship, and only 1 for a breakup. This guy's potential to do great physical harm to OP shot up astronomically with this statement alone. OP needs to go hard on this to protect herself, no matter whatever guilt she's feeling from the breakup is telling her. She needs to find out how to get the school and campus police on this. She needs to contact all her friends and family back home and give them a heads up. People overuse the term red flag, but this flag is crimson. Not the idiot. As of going to college, you had an ex, but as of John showing up demanding your attention, you have a stalker. Treat John as the potential danger he is. You and the RA handled this correctly. Security needs to be called. You should also lock down your info on the campus so he cannot find your future residence halls or rentals. Honestly, kudos to that RA. She knew what needed to be done. I, 35 female, have a sister named Marcy, 35, and a daughter named Jess, teen. Jess and Marcy get along very well, and they love hanging out together. Jess started telling me that she wanted to get some new bras about 6 months ago. She told me that the ones she has now are too babyish. I've tried taking her shopping online and in person, but she never finds any she likes. She always says the ones that I suggest are for little kids, and she wants a woman's bra. Yesterday, Marcy and Jess were spending the day together. After Jess got home, I noticed she had a plastic bag. Before I could ask what it was, she quickly went into her room. My mommy senses were going off, and I knew she was hiding something. I went to her room and asked her what was in the bag. She tried to dodge the subject and come up with weak explanations. I ended up opening the bag, and inside was a Victoria's Secret bra. I was shocked because this bra looked like lingerie, and it was obviously very sexy and revealing. I demanded to know where Jess got the bra. She told me that she and Marcy went to the mall after getting lunch. Jess was going on and on about how I never let her get the bra she likes. Jess pointed at Victoria's Secret and talked about how she always wanted a bra from there. Without hesitation or permission from me, Marcy just bought Jess the bra. I was furious that Marcy would buy my daughter something like this without talking to me. I went outside and called Marcy to get her side of the story. She basically told me that it was her money and she could buy whatever she wanted. She also said that I was holding Jess back and treating her like a baby. I snapped and told her that she had no right to buy my daughter a bra like that without my permission. I eventually told Marcy that I would give her the bra so she could return it. She told me that she had already gotten rid of the receipt, so she couldn't get her money back. I told her that I would just donate it instead then. Marcy flipped out and demanded I pay her back for the bra. I told her to screw off. I'm not paying her back for something she had no right to buy. Now Jess is giving me the silent treatment, and Marcy blocked my number. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Your daughter's going through a very transitional period in a girl's life where she starts to really feel like a woman. You're denying her something she's asking for, something she feels she needs. It's a bra. No one is going to see it except her, so who cares what it looks like? If you get rid of it, she'll resent you for it. Plus, you went through the bag without her permission, a great way to build trust with your daughter. Don't be surprised when she starts hiding other things from you. The daughter's probably not the only one who sees her bras. If Jess has a PE class, is in a sport, or goes to a sleepover, she's probably self-conscious that she's stuck in training bras while all her friends and classmates are wearing fitted, shaped, pretty bras. I doubt she cares about looking good for boys. She likely wants to fit in with her friends and talk about lacy bras with them. She's growing her interests age appropriately. OP, your daughter's growing up and she has boobs now. She needs to be a teen, and you need to accept that. Just wants to wear bras that make her look her age. When OP referred to her mommy senses going off, I may have thrown up in my mouth a little. My mom is great, but she wasn't so great years ago. Ever since I was a teen, she was sort of paranoid that I was plotting something behind her back. What exactly? I have no clue. She read my diary, which I quickly gave up on, went through the letters I exchanged with my best friend, snooped through my folders on our family computer, etc. This mommy senses bit gave me flashbacks of that time. You're up to something, I can feel it. Yes, Mom. I watched Silence of the Lambs with my friends, although I knew I wasn't supposed to. What a betrayal. Such an idiot. And the truth is, backed by research, most women wear pretty underwear to feel good about themselves and boost confidence, not because they expect anyone else to see it. Do your daughter the respect of letting her make choices. I don't see that Marcy needed permission to buy your daughter a practical thing that she both wanted and needed, just because you have strange hang-ups about what your daughter wears. My parents are divorced. My dad, 37, married Gail, 35, a few months ago. Gail has a daughter, Olivia, tween. I, a young teen female, don't go to my mom's that much. Olivia's dad doesn't want to meet her. He didn't want to have a kid. He pays child support. My dad feels bad for Olivia and wants to be the dad she never had. So he takes her on Saturday father-daughter lunches, does movie nights with her, etc. I feel bad for Olivia too, but my dad isn't spending as much time with me anymore. He used to do father-daughter lunches with me too, but now he spends lunch on Saturday with Olivia. On movie nights, he lets Olivia choose, and she loves to rewatch movies. She's watched Zootopia about 9 times, each How to Train Your Dragon movie at least 4, and she's already watched Encanto twice. He always tries to make Olivia happy before he makes me happy. If we're going on a family outing, he lets Olivia choose and not me. I try not to get mad at Olivia because it really isn't her fault, but it's hard not to resent her. We had a pie yesterday. We ate most of it. Today, when Olivia and I got home from school, I went to the kitchen and Olivia went to her room. My dad got the 2 leftover slices of pie out of the fridge. He gave one to Gail. I asked for the other. He said okay, but then Olivia walked into the kitchen and asked if she could have one. My dad said, "Sure, Olivia, of course," and handed her my pie, which I had not yet taken a bite out of. Olivia said thanks and walked away eating it. Unfortunately, Gail had already bitten her pie. I said loudly that I was tired of always being second to Olivia. My dad said that I needed to compromise. I can't get everything I want. Have some empathy for Olivia, because her dad doesn't want her, and it's just a slice of pie. So I went into my room and slammed the door, and now I'm writing this. I know Olivia's father isn't in her life, but I don't want her to take mine. I don't know. He's giving her more attention, more love it seems. But maybe I'm just being selfish. He keeps offering to go buy more pie, but it's not about the stupid pie. Maybe I'm not used to having a younger sister. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Tell your dad that he's doing to you what Olivia's dad did to her, not being a part of your life in favor of Olivia. Your dad can include Olivia in the things you do together, but he should not exclude you. It sucks that Olivia's dad doesn't want to be in her life, but your dad just can't throw your feelings away for Olivia. He should alternate who picks movies and not give something he already gave to you, the pie, to Olivia. The correct response is, "There's no more pie. Let's see what else we have." You seriously need to tell him that you feel that he's doing to you what Olivia's dad did to her. I'm sorry, OP, but you are the idiot. Instead of letting it boil over to the point that you're yelling and slamming doors, try having a conversation with your dad when you're not upset. It will be better for everyone in the long run. And don't make it about Olivia. Tell him you want to talk. Tell him how you miss your father-daughter time, and tell him that this transition is hard for you and you want him to know your needs. Tell him about how you're feeling without putting blame anywhere. This is going to be hard to do, but hopefully your dad will hear you and change his behavior. I, 30 male, and my wife, 30, have been married for a year. My wife gave birth to our newborn son 3 weeks ago. We were both very excited, but my wife's mom had passed away a year before we got married, so she was quite upset that her mom wasn't there. So she didn't want my mom to be in the delivery room, which I could completely understand. My mom, 58, wanted to be in the delivery room, but she was okay with my wife's decision after telling her about it. My wife and my mom get along okay with each other, so everything was fine after that. So a few days after our son was born, my sisters-in-law, 24 and 27, came to see my wife and our son. My wife was okay with them coming over and didn't mind. I didn't have a problem either, so everything was fine. My mom was very excited and wanted to see her grandson, but my wife hadn't invited her or anything. So I thought my wife had forgotten about my mom, and I invited my mom to come over and surprise my wife. My mom came over and stayed with us for a day. I've been doing everything like cooking, cleaning, and other household stuff for the last 3 weeks to give my wife a break and time to recover. So she didn't have to take care of my mom or anything. But after my mom left, my wife was upset with me and told me I shouldn't have invited my mom like that, and that the first few weeks are crucial to have time with the baby, so she didn't want any guests. But my wife was okay with my sisters-in-law coming over, so I felt like my mom was being left out of our son's birth. I thought my mom would be more helpful than my sisters-in-law because she went through the same experience, unlike my sisters-in-law. But I am feeling guilty about this. So my question is, am I the idiot for inviting my mom? I invited my mom to come over and surprise my wife. You are the idiot, dude. There is nothing here to indicate your wife would be happy about a surprise visit from your mom. The only reason you'd make it a surprise seems to be because you knew your wife wouldn't want your mom over. Also, a surprise visit when your baby's 3 weeks old? That alone makes you stupid. I understand that, but it's unfair that the wife said that the baby shouldn't see people within the first 3 weeks, but her sisters did. and she's mad about his mom being there? My issue is the double standard that's being overlooked. Parenting should be a partnership, not ownership. It seems odd that the wife is gatekeeping to meet their newest member. There is a big difference between the comfort of being with your sisters in a very difficult emotional time and being with your mother-in-law who just wants to see the baby. OP, your wife is likely more comfortable being in various undressed states with her siblings than your mom. I wanted nothing more than to be topless and sleep for the first few weeks, and I wouldn't have had a problem with my sisters being there, but that would be very awkward for me if my mother-in-law were. Everyone's the idiot here. You should have told her you invited your mom, but your wife doesn't get to be the sole decision maker on who gets to meet your son. I'm tired of all these posts that make it seem like the moms have total control over all things with kids. Men are more than just sperm donors and ATMs. As long as they're responsible for parenting the kid, they also get to make decisions regarding it after it's born. I disagree. How is the man physically recovering from childbirth? This isn't about equal say, but about caring for someone who's just been through something physically traumatic. It's not just about seeing the baby, but about seeing a woman who's still recovering. There's no equal say in this situation. I run a small business, and for over a year and a half, I've been employing Brian, not his real name. He's a decent worker. He comes in every day for 1 to 2 hours to sweep, mop, clean the windows, keep the front tidy, and take out the trash. 2 months ago, my sister asked me to offer my nephew, Henry, 19, a job because they're going through some financial troubles and need his help. I gave him a full-time job where he's basically like my receptionist, answering the phone, helping me organize papers and such. Henry knows about Brian because I talked about him to my family once. Brian used to sleep right outside by the entrance every night, or sometimes I'd find him digging in our dumpster around the back. So I decided to offer him some work, and he accepted. Since Henry started, he's had some attitude with Brian when he comes in. Twice I've come back after meeting clients, and Henry was making Brian unload supplies that were dropped off, saying that I told him to have Brian do that. They were arguing because Brian said he couldn't do it. When he first started coming in, he told me that he couldn't do the heavy lifting because of back problems he suffers from. So I got mad at my nephew over that. I tried to chalk that up to my nephew not knowing much since he's new. Last week, Henry told me he saw Brian going to the back office and going through everyone's things. Then supposedly, he also went into my office. I didn't believe him because only a few people have keys to my office, my nephew being one of them, because sometimes he needs to leave papers on my desk when I'm not there. Brian doesn't have keys for any of that because he only needs to get the cleaning supplies from the closet. Henry said he left his keys out front when Brian was there when he answered the phone, and now he can't find them. He kept saying I should fire him. One look at the security cams proved he lied about the whole thing. He lied about it and kept suggesting Brian be fired for something Henry knew he didn't do. Upset me very much. So I fired him there. You can guess how my family took that, firing my own nephew, when according to them, he didn't do anything wrong. My sister said Henry just misplaced his keys and rightfully assumed Brian stole them. Even though Henry won't give me actual reasons why he was uncomfortable around Brian, other than believing he would steal something, Brian has never done anything like that before. Everyone thinks I'm TA for firing and refusing to rehire him over this because of what their family's going through. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your nephew was kicking a man who was already down. How you treat people in need says a lot about your personality. Your nephew can't be trusted in small things and not in big things. If you hadn't fired your nephew for this, it would have been something else. Your family's angry because they see Brian as lesser than themselves, not worth getting upset over. They're wrong. He is valuable and deserving, and you did him a great kindness. He rightfully assumed Brian stole them? On what planet? He quite literally and provably wrongly accused Brian. I'm getting classes solid or some other ist vibes from your family. Why else would they be targeting Brian? You were absolutely right to fire Henry for making false accusations of trying to get someone else fired. Good riddance, not the idiot OP.